Every day I bring home rice and meat, but I'm starving 3 days out of 9. Why? Because my food keeps disappearing into thin air. At first I thought someone was robbing me, but after staking out for days, I never saw anyone break in. Yet somehow my food just kept vanishing. Then just when I was losing my mind, I noticed the poor scholar next door, suddenly looking all fat and healthy. To test my theory, today I brought home rice and meat like usual, then quietly spied on the scholar's place through a crack in the wall. There was this girl in white, holding an empty bowl and chanting something. Next second, boom, a bowl full of rice appeared out of nowhere. She looked at the rice with pure joy, then quickly dumped it into a basin. Then she kept chanting again. On my side of the wall, I jumped up and rushed to my rice jar, my eyes glued to the nearly empty jar. There was just a thin layer of rice left at the bottom. Then right before my eyes, every last grain started disappearing one by one. Not a single grain left, cleaner than if a dog licked it. I ran back to the crack in the wall, peeked through that tiny hole, and sure enough, her bowl was full of rice again. Damn it, she's literally starving me to death, not even leaving me a way out. Before I could finish cursing, I felt something tugging beside me. Before I could react, the cured meat hanging on my wall vanished too. Soon the smell of rice drifted over. The girl made herself a delicious rice and meat bowl, then transformed into a snow-white fox and hopped into a cage. I stared at that fox, rage burning in my eyes. Damn that Zhang Dashan. If he just made this fox into a coat back then, none of this would be happening. See, a few months ago on a rainy night, the hunter next door, Zhang Dashan, went hunting and caught a white fox. Zhang wanted to make a fur collar out of it, but that broke scholar next door. For some reason, sold his only 2 acres of land just to buy that fox. Ever since he got that fox to repay him, my miserable life began. I became the chosen worker, starving myself while feeding that man and beast next door. Smelling their rice cooking, I quickly plugged up the crack with dirt. Terrified the fox spirit would discover me spying. Then I clutched my growling stomach, eyes filled with bitter rage. I saved every penny, only to end up feeding that poor scholar next door. But how do I get rid of the fox spirit? My mind was in chaos. I had no plan. That's a fox spirit with magic powers. I should be grateful it doesn't harm me. How could I possibly kill a demon? Just as I was about to turn away in frustration, I froze. I looked back at where the meat had disappeared. There was a pearl the size of a pigeon egg, glowing soft red. And the craziest part, it had the words +40 floating above it. Right then, my vision blurred and a panel popped up. Name, Shu Yi. Skills, none. Points, 0. Anomaly drop detected. Collect? Yo, collect! Without thinking, I said it. As soon as I spoke, that red pearl on the ground vanished, and the cheat panel flickered. Name, Shu Yi. Skills, none. Points, 40. Yo, a cheat system. This is my golden finger. I stared at my cheat, grinning with joy. Then, fighting back my excitement, I studied it. Turns out wherever anomalies pass, they drop points. And skills. Just collect the dropped points. And I can level up skills directly. But when I looked at my empty skills section, my frustration peaked. What good are points without any skills? But after thinking it through, if the fox spirit drops experience, maybe it can drop skills too. Sure, I can't deal with the fox yet. But now that I have a cheat, my time will come soon. I rubbed my rumbling belly, grabbed my rope and shovel and headed to the mountains. They're eating well next door, while I'm starving. Not long after, I caught a deer and headed back to the village. But when I reached the village entrance, I stopped. There was this guy in rough cloth, holding a snow-white fox, walking toward me. He was tall and slender, handsome as jade, looking ridiculously good. It was my sworn enemy, the poor scholar next door, Fu Yanji. Well, if it isn't Shu Yi, looking all skinny and yellow. Haven't starved to death yet? Fu Yanji stood in front of me, eyes full of mockery. I snorted coldly, afraid of the fox demon's power, not sure if I should talk back. But Fu Yanji had already walked past me, eyes full of disdain, muttering, "Humph." The little fox in his arms stared at me with contempt too. Those bright eyes showed human-like intelligence. Watching them walk away, I spat on the ground. Just you wait. One day, I'll make you into a fox coat. And just as I was cursing in my head, my vision blurred again. I saw on the fox spirit's body a red glow dropped. But Fu Yanji and the fox didn't seem to see it at all. What's that? Haha, another drop! I rushed over to the pearl to see what the fox spirit dropped. What good stuff did I get? But when I got there, I felt a bit disappointed. Just experience points again. The pearl said +5. Not the skill I wanted, but I quickly pulled myself together. Getting drops is better than nothing. Once I have skills, points will matter. Better to stack up points now while I can. So I collected the experience, and the panel showed points 45. I took the deer home, hung it on the wall, then sat in the corner, eyes locked on that deer. And it didn't take long. Next moment, the deer vanished into thin air. Another red-yellow pearl stayed behind. I was so pissed my teeth hurt. I even heard a small complaint from next door. Honey, why isn't this deer skinned? Ugh, that lazy hunter next door is getting worse. Guess I gotta do it myself. Hearing that faint grumbling, I silently collected the experience points. My eyebrows twitched with anger. This is so unfair! So damn unfair. After collecting the points, I stood by the wall, carefully peeking through the hole. They had 2 oil lamps lit over there. The scholar wasn't home. The girl in white was processing the deer. Soon she had another delicious rice bowl ready. The girl transformed back into a white fox and jumped onto the bed. Then I heard footsteps. The poor scholar Fu Yanjie came in carrying water. He walked inside, saying, "I don't know which passing immortal blessed me, but I thank you deeply. Though I'm getting tired of deer meat every day. If tomorrow you could send some chicken instead, that'd be perfect. Thank you, immortal." That scholar acted all grateful, then sat down to feast. He even picked up meat and fed it to the little fox. Who should be thanking who? I muttered to myself, grinding my teeth so hard they almost cracked. After dinner, the scholar cleaned up and sat at his shabby desk. The little fox somehow brought over a page of gold leaf, jumped into his lap, and, "All right, our nightly reading session.